Hi. Hi. Today I'm here with Jason Warwick again. We thought we would like to take you to our Living Miracles Monastery and have up close and personal experience here. Because this has been the backdrop that a few of us have been together over the past few years, just to dive really deep into our mind and look into, the subtleties, and also just support each other in our journey of forgiveness. So you probably can feel the stillness that we're feeling right now. Just as soon as we arrive, we can immediately feel the vastness and the stillness of the canyon. So
it does feel that way, doesn't it? Just so still.
it's still, and it's very focused. It's extremely simple and single focused. So it's like there is some kind of experience, just to be here, to experience that kind of single focused devotion. Yeah. It feels like all the noise, start to just settle in the mind and become very quiet and very still. And they're like subtle things that normally are covered by those noises, and there's space for them to come up to the surface.
Yeah, we were talking last night and this morning about a topic. The idea of weakness and strength came up. And it feels like it's the lesson of the day, actually. Well, every day, every moment. Just not really compromising on what is given in each moment from the Spirit. And last night I was talking with a friend in the community, and it was really beautiful because he was going through some intensity and emotions, and then we went to see a movie, and then afterwards just had a talk, and he was expressing some thoughts and lost thoughts and lack of trust in the Holy Spirit, and feeling like, there's going to be no way to get what it is he thinks he wants. And the more we looked into it, actually, he was playing weak with regards to some other member of the community in terms of what he was feeling guided to express and say and do. And then when we joined in the miracle of actually launching into his clarity and taking on his function completely, that was it. Like, that was the completion. That was the miracle. And all those other thoughts just totally disappeared. And I was just spellbound listening to him and seeing that once again. There's really nothing to fix, nothing to figure out. Nowhere to go, no problem. It's just, where would you have me step in now with regards to strength? And it's everything. It's like, okay, there's no noises, there's just this moment.
Yeah. And it seems like sometimes when we commit to follow the Spirit and know that we're given a function, to step into it, and there is a lot of fear to actually step fully, because when we truly do that, we merge with the Spirit, and the egoic I disappear, and it's totally frightening to the ego. So that's really where the fear is, like to really step into fully and allow the Spirit to do the function through us, to speak through us. And that is where the fear is. But before we truly do that and completely experience the merge and the strength and the flow, you know, in that fear there will be a lot of distraction wants to come up to stop the thoughts of the difficulties. How, I don't know how to do that. Maybe it's not for now. Maybe I can wait a little bit. What about other people? Then, you know, like there are all kinds of, it's just really this attempt to hold back and not really give yourself fully.
It can come, it gets more subtle too, like phone calls can come in that you want to answer or handle, or problems or anything. And just staying so riveted, it's just like staying so riveted on the Spirit. When you stay riveted on what's given, you're staying riveted on the Spirit. You're not angry at anybody.
Yeah, when you are in the joy, when you're in the function and in the gratitude, in the Spirit, there is no room for anger. There is really no room for jealousy, comparison. You don't really, you know, stay in that kind of space and indulge in those kind of thoughts, because there is no room. You just have to, you move, you step away so the Spirit can completely come through.
And that's it. That's strength. There's no more getting, no more trying to be something, no more adjusting to the world, which is all what we're used to. You know, this is the aliveness. It's like right here.
Or even make sure that what we feel inspired to do is okay. It's approved by others. And if others people do not approve, then we feel weak and maybe we'll compromise a little bit. How can I make you happy as well? You know, that actually you can feel the weakness when you do that. You know?
It's because I was praying this morning and I had Lucy in my mind. And I had like a real gentleness, like patience. I had Lucy in my mind, which is like an urgency, and don't hold back on what you need to say. No people pleasing, no compromise. Go for it, you know. And then at the same time, I had the patience of Job in my mind. It's a Job is a character in the Bible that I forget the exact story, but he has a ton of patience around some things. I think they even test him or something, but things he has to go through. And so it's like, for me, Job and Lucy together, like just that patience that everything is exactly as it is and need not be different, and that strength of Lucy and no compromise somehow merging together for this awakening.
Yeah, a friend actually contacted me saying it's like a combination of authority and grace. You know, you have so much grace and patience and love, and there is also a strength, almost like authoritative, but it's strong, it's strength.
And it doesn't conflict with anything.
Yeah.
I even see us coming to do the show right here. We just didn't feel to call. We had to check if the roads were washed out, but just came in gracefully, sat down. Characters can come and go, but we're just so about our Father's business, our function.
Yeah, like this has to be the first thing that we put our attention to. You know, no other thing can come in before this, because this is the given function right now, and that requires our full attention and devotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, by the end of the talk last night with him, it switched into we had to join around some decisions around South Africa. So all of a sudden all these topics came around South Africa. And that's what was given. That was where the minds could meet, because it was a reflection of the...
You were saying when the weakness is there, is experienced, it's all about how I don't have the love that I desire, and I'm not loved, and I'm experiencing loss and all that emotion and story. But as soon as the mind decided to step into the strength, what came through was actually function, was actually details, logistics, and it's to do with function, has nothing to do with victim stories. Or let's look at...
There was no problem.
Right.
There was no problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Even the movie, we watched Guardians of the Galaxy, which didn't really have a strong appeal, but it seemed to come in. And there was an abandonment scene at the beginning, to carry on from our talk yesterday. And then the whole movie, and then the end of the movie, the beginning of the movie is he wouldn't hold his mother's hand when she was dying. And he was beating himself up the whole movie because he felt like he left her go and didn't do the right thing or whatever. And then the end of the movie, as a symbol, this woman came in right as he was holding onto this light and ready to go into basically all of eternity. But he couldn't handle it by himself, so to speak. So this woman said, "Here, I'm with you." And she held out her hand, and he had this image flash through his mind of his mother where he didn't before. So he gave everything he had to grabbing her hand this time. And then another guy came in, and all four of them together could handle this light. And that was the scene. It's like when this deep stuff comes up, we join together truly to, be carried into the light. And then, we're one. It's not really separate people, but...
That's why when, specific upsets come up, sometimes we do connect at a specific level, but it is really to relax the mind a little bit. It's not really, it's not really gentle sometimes to just ignore and deny what the mind will still believe in and feel, stick to. But there is a gentleness and there is a grace coming in to say, yes, it's okay. It's okay. Let's talk about it. Let's really open your mind up, and you have your brother join with you. Really look at this with you together. But eventually, the healing really only comes when the mind feels safe enough to let it go, and not really in getting more and more and more and more into the problem and try to find the solution by fixing anything that it can see as wrong.
Just perpetuates the problem.
That's right. So it's like letting go and step outside of the whole construct. That's where the healing arrives. So we were, sometimes talking about what is letting go. It actually happens every moment. It's not really like a big thing, like you let go of your possession or you let go of your relationship, a career. That seems like a big transition, big shift. But that willingness of not holding on to anything is happening every moment. Are you willing to just focus on what is given right now and not looking back of what served yesterday?
Because what you want is what is given.
Right now.
And when you say something else, you're actually splitting your mind apart. Because it must be so, because you want it underneath. But, so it's so cool. That's why the split, so.
Yeah, I watch, like when spirit works, it's always direct the attention to what is given, what is inspiring, and never talk about why things used to be working out, it doesn't serve anymore. There's no explanation about that. Just like, hey, look at this, look at this, look at this. How inspiring is that? Let's just explore here. Try to see the gift that's right now.
Yeah, like a lot of times in gatherings, someone will ask a question. I remember one in Florida, and I watched David answer it, and he just didn't say it directly, but he said 10 minutes. He kind of talked about this thing and looped and looped and looped, and then the mind relaxed. And then it was like the answer, but if you had said it right away, it was too much,
Right.
And then afterwards at the dinner, one of the ladies came up and said, I figured it out. I figured out how you do it. You bore the ego to death. And then there's nothing left but an acceptance.
You bore the ego.
Of the answer. And when she said that, I was like, I have no idea if that's what happens or not. But something in the whole transmission was working. Like, you don't even see the problem, so there's nothing really to address. And the mind needs to not be hooked on the problem. So it's like you join, and then when it's timing, you can accept the solution. That's cool.
Yep.
We have a new theory for how
The
David.
spirit bores the ego.
Bores the ego. I actually have no thought about that if it's true or not. You know, it's like. We had that when Jackie and I just were on our tour. We had a little bit of that. We did this really deep talk, and people were asking questions about child abuse and rape, and I, don't have any experience with that. But it was like, okay, Holy Spirit, what would you have? Use me. And I was reading parables from Barbara Varley and Robert Varley. And Jackie was sharing, and it was like the Spirit was answering it directly in a way that just served the mind without. Yeah, I can't even describe it. It's on Spreaker if you want to listen to it. But just being so open to the answer coming through and not challenging, because underneath that is a victim mentality, and you can't. The victim does not want to be told that it's not real or that
it's not a victim.
It's not a victim, exactly. So, okay, Holy Spirit, you can't just say, oh, there's no victims,
Right. You wanted it, or that's just not gonna.
It's not gonna work.
No.
There must be a way, and so.
Right.
Even you saying you wanted it, I'm like, whoa, can we say that?
I said it.
I'm so glad we came here. There's even a line in the Course. Oh my God, it's true. It says, the way out is, as long as you never choose weakness to direct your actions, you will, I should find it exactly, you will free yourself from this trap. Never choose weakness, because weakness is an identity or a state of mind that's apart from the Spirit. And then, of course, then the actions and all that seem to flow from that. And as long as we never choose weakness.
It's almost like never choose anything apart from the Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, even specialness in terms, what is specialness but weakness?
It's not between people.
It's not
It's a weakness.
It's choosing weakness. I already feel, bought into the separation idea.
Yeah.
And then I feel weak, I feel lack, but I do not know where to find the completion or the power, so I want to get it from
You, yeah.
Yeah, from something that just as illusory as the separated self. Like find something on the screen, find something, from the appearance, basically. And that is weakness, to want anything from others and want anything from the world. You can feel it. You can feel how strong or how weak that feels. Hey, now with us we have our friend Jackie Simpson, who actually is living here in the monastery, has been living here in between your travels, I guess.
Yeah, it was when you opened with just how the level of devotion here is palpable, and that moves me to tears when I think about that. It was like the experience we had while we were away, of going to the chapel in the airport, and it was the devotion and love that was so palpable. I guess, here in the heart that's reflected, that absolutely has all the emotions bursting. That's what it seems to be. It's like the joy, the gratitude, the love that's right there, ready to be released and reflected in every moment. It feels like that. And it feels like that here. It feels like this is the space that's held for that very thing. And then in contrast to that, anything that's not that seems to arise, but in such a gentle space. You know, that's what it feels like. It's so invited to just be witnessed as false. Yeah. It seems like a false thought, and it's not metaphysically correct, but I don't care about that. It's like it seems like all the coming together that's happened here has brought witness to that very state of mind that we desire, and that's what we walk into somehow. And it seems to be this place. It can't be, but this is where the invitation is for it. It's almost like it's the invitation I have to the spirit for that gets reflected, and the stillness reflects that in the mind. Feels so beautiful.
This is kind of what we wanted to capture today too, was that vibe of devotion here and stillness is part of the B-roll.
Yeah.
The what?
B-roll.
It is like just open ourselves up and invite you to just come with us and see, all of this environment. And it's not really external. I mean, it looks like external, but it's in a way just so symbolic as well. And we feel like, what we're about. One thing that was very, emphasized at the point when I arrived was no private thoughts. And it's not just about spill all your attack thoughts, but it is just a guideline of allowing yourself to be completely transparent. And of course, at the beginning, it was intense because feeling as a person, there was tremendous amount of guilt. There was tremendous amount of fear and guilt to be transparent and to hide nothing, because if there is nothing that's hidden, there is really nothing that exists. That's held as true. So in that, that's something that we come together to practice, is to give each other this safety and this space to feel the openness and to just drop this mask and this barrier and this fear and this guilt. And eventually there shouldn't be anything. There shouldn't be anything that we feel that needs to be, hidden or that needs to be protected. So that's the essence of, we would love for you to share what we do and what we feel and what we experience. And this, of course, this monastery is part of it. It's a symbol of it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this show. It's so beautiful that we can actually sit in this contemplative, contemplative place and just talk about our experiences, because that's often what doesn't come out in gatherings. Just to be able to explore this moment and how it feels, what it is right now.
We feel inspired. It's inspiring the whole world. Everything we're teaching, we're extending, is for the whole universe. And so in a way, there is no concern about the topic of other people that other people want to hear. It's like, let's just go for the inspiration in this moment. And that could be extremely quiet inspiration. Just be together. Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
My eyesight is like 20/20 or something. I see everything.
Yeah, when we really desire the gift, it's here. And it's here now in every moment, isn't it? It's like, whoa, yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is the inspiration. And even talking about future events or something that may happen in the future, we were talking about that last week. It's like the joy, the healing and the inspiration were there in that moment of actually being there, in allowing all of that up into awareness and to be in the joy at the moment, in this moment, here, now. That's it, that's all there is. And then something may happen sometime and it may not. Yeah. It's so just to go with that flow of what is. Super.
Out of the blue comes Francis Zhu. And Jason Warwick and Jackie Simpson today.
Okay, I'm rolling.
Oh my God! Here we are, outside of the monastery, on our way back to the metaphysical center. We had a miraculous day. That's what we really want to share with you. Share the miracles that we had.
We had to stop here. The lighting, even though it's not sunset, is like phenomenal. We didn't have to account for that. And we thought, let's just do a spontaneous sharing of the day, because it ended in a wash of everything, literally at the very end.
Our road became a river in a second. Someone called me right before we were ready to leave the monastery, said that you will not be able to leave because the road underneath the monastery became a river, just literally in a second. And there was no rain, and nobody knew how that happened. Just completely became a wash, a river.
I was praying, I said, should we be here a little bit longer, or because we're moving quite swiftly? And then she said the words, or immediately we have to leave. And I was like, okay, we're going now, and throughout the day we had talked about earlier in the episode, like the monastery is a place for looking at the subtleties of the ego and what comes up, and it actually played out that way. For myself, I got to see this feeling of some kind of mistreatment or something coming up into awareness, the characters playing their parts, and then seeing that it was not so. Actually, it was all just for the healing, because I was to stay right where I was in my dorm. Or not dorm, dome. Dome.
It's all for the forgiveness, like everything that happens and everybody plays their part just for this forgiveness or the judgment that was buried underneath to come up and be washed.
Yeah.
And literally, as we left the monastery, our road became a wash, like it was washed in an instant.
After all the healing had taken place in the mystical and joining with Chrissy there, who's just arrived, then we would go.
Yeah, immediately.
And Ula actually had been called down by Sarah to go to the campground. So we had to go to the campground and pick him up. And as we're driving to the road, we see it's a river. And we're like, well, only the Suburban could do that. But
we were ready to turn around actually, and not risk our car. We didn't know what would happen, but just as we pulled over and climbed the little hill to just have a look, there was this white truck just 4x4 drove into the river and then pulled over to our car, and the driver came out and said,
Do you need help?
do you need help? Were you stuck? And we said, well, not really, but we don't think we will make it with this car. And he said, it was like a Holy Spirit sent character. And he said, I think you can make it. And if you get stuck, I will help you. Basically, with this certainty and this confidence, as all of us were ready to turn around, he said, I think you can make it. And I just felt so joyful when he said it. I felt like there's something almost I can trust, and I feel this excitement. I said, let's go for it.
I said, okay, all I need is one more to be the witness. And I was, he even said, if you don't feel it, I'll drive it for you. And we're like, that's not the issue. It's the vehicle.
Yeah, and we actually made it. And it was just in this mode of celebration, we joined with our friends down there, and everybody was watching us, driving through this river. And at the end of it, it was just a big celebration for no reason. But it was for the wash, actually. The celebration was for the wash and for all the brothers to come together to just connect in the love and to have this opportunity to express love for no reason.
Remembering there's no problem.
Yeah.
Nothing's
Yeah.
It was really cool. And then we had this big little hug session, celebration. And they told us which direction we had to go. We already knew because the other way was even worse. So we went, and then we thought, oh, maybe we'll run into our friends to get the camera we need. And sure enough, along the road they come, pull over, hand us the camera, and we fire home.
We're grateful that we get to share this miraculous day and our monastery with you today. So thank you for being part of it.
It goes from being tranquil to exciting, all welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.